everyone, welcome back to Faith and Flour. This is Robin, and today I have some extreme cleaning motivation for you. Today I am tackling some of my very least favorite jobs in the kitchen, but these things have to be done, and I was looking for a shortcut, a way that I could get this done that would just be fast and easy. And so I invested. When I say invested, it was just about $30 in this steam shot from Bissell. I had researched this and seen a lot of other YouTubers that just claim it was like the miracle tool. So I bought it and I thought I would give my oven a thorough cleaning from top to bottom. So I started with the top, grabbing my vent filters, and I know you can pop these in the dishwasher and clean them that way, but this seemed like a faster way to get it done, and that way I don't have to wait for them in the dishwasher. It seemed to work okay. So it was loosening up some of the grease in there, but I just had a feeling that there was more in there than this was extracting. I could even see it in a couple of places. So I decided to sprinkle it with a little baking soda, spray on some vinegar, and see if that would help loosen things up a bit. That really seemed to do the trick. You can see on the towel how much more grease came out, and it felt clean afterwards. So I was really encouraged with this tool, and I was excited to start cleaning other parts of my stove. This sort of vent on the back part of my stove is something that I probably haven't maintained as well as I should. There's little grease spatters on it, and I always have a tough time cleaning it. So that's one of the first places I wanted to start. And so the steam cleaner comes with some different attachments, but I thought I would just give it a shot this way and see how easy it was to loosen up some of the baked on grease. Some of it started to come off, and I was encouraged, but it was taking a little longer than I thought it should. So I actually switched over to this brush tool, which really made a big difference. It turns out the abrasiveness of the brush was all I needed to be in business. So I was really happy about this, and I very quickly was able to get this entire grate pretty clean. Found that the steam shot was pretty good at getting into some of the crevices that are hard to reach, so that was also really encouraging, especially when you see everything that you can get out of there. Next, I wanted to clean the stove top, and I just chose to use my E-cloth microfiber cloths for this. And there wasn't really anything that I felt needed removing with the steam shot, so this did a great job. I actually have one of their appliance cloths, and it's got some sort of scrubby stripes on it. I'm also really careful about cleaning after each time I use the stove, and so I know that has really helped. I'm not sure what you call these, but the little plates that go on top of the gas burners are made of cast iron, and I never can get them fully clean either, so I thought I'd give them a good steam bath too. And it did make them very clean, I would say, but I don't think it removed any of the sort of stains that were there. But I was pretty pleased with how it handled everything so far, so I was still encouraged to keep going. The stovetop grates are also cast iron, and just like the caps that I showed you, there's a little bit of staining on them, but I wouldn't say there's a lot of baked on grease or food, so I thought that just giving them a good steam bath would be beneficial. So I went ahead and did that with the grates, and I was fairly pleased with that. Oven is about 11 years old, so I was pretty pleased with how clean it was. It probably hasn't had a cleaning this thorough in quite some time. So the disappointment actually came when I went to the inside of our oven. I do a lot of cooking and baking. I really get a lot of use out of our oven, and it shows. I try to clean it at least every 6 months, if not sooner, especially if there's a spill or something like that. But it is my least favorite job of just about anything in our entire house. I absolutely hate cleaning the oven. That may come as a surprise to you, but I think the problem is that it's just not that satisfying. No matter what I do, no matter what product I use, it never, is restored to sort of new condition. So I'm always left kind of frustrated, and it's probably the perfectionist personality that I have, but I just really want to come up with a way to clean the oven that is a little bit easier, takes a little less effort, and has better results. Before getting into things with the Steam Shot, I wiped everything down with a microfiber cloth, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised to see how well that alone removed the grease in this area of the stove. I thought that was going to be a really hard job to remove, and it came off really easily. I did try the Steam Shot on just a couple of areas that were really tough to remove, and they came right off. So again, I was so encouraged and so excited. I thought I was gonna blast out this job in no time. I also have a very optimistic personality, so I was convinced that I had found the answer. And I'm usually very positive on my channel, but I have to say I was really disappointed with the performance of the Steam Shot when it came to the really tough stuff in the oven. The baked on stuff that is really hard to remove. I've tried things like baking soda and vinegar, and these areas are always the toughest, and this is what I was really trying to avoid. I spent a very long time, and I will spare you the footage, trying to clean the bottom of our oven. I protect it with tin foil, but stuff still gets under there occasionally when I'm not aware of it. And once it's baked on, it is so hard to remove. I finally gave up when I didn't get anywhere with the Steam Shot inside the oven, and I turned to the grates. I knew that it would be so satisfying if it worked on these. There's a lot of food splatters and baked on grease in areas that are just so hard to access any other way. So I really had high hopes for this, and initially it did seem to do quite well on the flat surfaces. So once again, I was very optimistic, and I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. But as I worked on it, I realized that the brush couldn't get to all of the sort of nooks and crannies, and of course there are a ton when we're talking about grates here. So it really was underwhelming. And I knew it was going to take a ton of elbow grease, and this one grate just took forever. And I had 5 others that I was going to have to work on. So I quickly lost steam, haha, when I realized that no matter how I approached this, it just wasn't going to be the miracle solution that I was hoping for. desperation, I used the product that I was hoping to avoid. I know that this stuff is toxic. This is the fume-free version, and I have to say it really wasn't that bad as far as fumes go. I do prefer to use natural methods whenever possible, but you know, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. Even though I hated to have to do it, it really did work. All of the baked on grease and food splatters just sort of melted away. All I had to do was wipe it up. I love this stovetop and oven, but the oven is gas, and apparently they can't offer that self-cleaning feature in a gas oven because the gas can't reach temperatures high enough to burn everything off. Until we moved here, I always had a self-cleaning oven, and I have to say I really miss that feature. As for the grates, I needed a solution that was going to require less elbow grease. So I researched that. I've actually done this same thing, but this time I used Dawn dishwashing liquid. Before I used Tide because that's what was suggested, which is a laundry detergent. And what you do is line your tub with a towel so that the grates won't scratch it, and then fill up the tub with very hot water, as hot as you can make it, along with the dishwashing detergent or the laundry detergent. And so I was hopeful that this was going to work. Dawn is known to be really great on grease. So I left this overnight, and the next day I was thrilled to see how much dirt was floating around in the tub. It looked really gross, but it was an indicator to me that it really worked, so I was pretty excited. So I grabbed a scrub brush and started scrubbing, and I quickly realized that the grease and everything wasn't gonna come off so easily. It was still gonna take quite a lot of elbow grease. So I just, sort of pulled up my bootstraps and went to work. So I guess you're starting to see why this is my least favorite job. I dread this so much, and I'm always so exhausted at the end of the day of cleaning my oven. As I said, with a self-cleaning oven, I guess I was just spoiled because I could just turn that on. I didn't really like the smell of it burning in the home, but I always did it on a day when I could open the windows and let the house air out. And all I had to do was sort of wipe away the ashy crumbs afterwards. And this just takes so much more effort. And on top of that, I had invested $30 in something that didn't really do what I was hoping it would do. So I know that you probably have had buyer's remorse over something a time or two in your life, so you can relate, but it never feels good. So anyway, if you're thinking about getting a power shot or something like it, you can, use me as an example and just avoid the disappointment. At least cleaning the tub afterwards was easy. Dawn kept it pretty clean, so all I had to do was rinse the little bits that came off the grates down the drain, and the tub was spotless. At this point, the hard work was behind me, and I promise I'll stop complaining and return to my normal, positive, optimistic self. The most difficult thing at this point was just realizing that the racks for each oven were not interchangeable. So I had to figure out which one went where. I guess I've cleaned these ovens individually in the past and never realized that. So they went back in pretty easily. I was able to return the racks back in there, and the oven was looking a lot better, a lot cleaner, and I didn't get the total satisfaction I was after, but it was still very good. I almost forgot. I always slide a piece of heavy-duty tinfoil underneath to catch any spills. And so now the rest of the kitchen cleaning is so much easier and so much more enjoyable. I just needed to put away a few things on the countertop from breakfast and lunch that were drying in the drying rack, and then finish off the things that I had planned to do in the kitchen. For the outside of the oven and for the rest of the stainless steel in the kitchen, I'm just cleaning with my e-cloth microfiber cloth. I like to wipe everything down and then follow it and dry it with one of the window polishing cloths. It is the best way to clean stainless steel. I absolutely love it. I don't need any product, there's no residue left behind, and it's really enjoyable to clean because you get instant satisfaction with practically zero effort. All that's left is to clean the kitchen floors, and I'm using a new purchase that I'm really happy about. I'll give you guys more information about this as I try it out and I learn more about the features. It's a cordless vacuum or a stick vacuum that converts to a handheld that's made by Shark, and I'm really enjoying it. The one I had previously is still working, but this one is a better model. It's improved a lot of things over the one I had previously, and I bought this one myself. This video is not sponsored in any way. I just really wanted a vacuum that would be great for both hard surfaces and the carpet and for pet hair. So this has some great features to it. but my previous vacuum has been discontinued, and a lot of you have been asking me for a recommendation, and I don't want to recommend something that I haven't tried out really well myself. So I'm hoping that this is something that I can recommend to you. I do have it in my Amazon store if you want to go ahead and check it out, but I will be talking about it in future videos. So far, I'm really liking it. I also recently purchased this Bissell Steam Mop, and I think this is what made me think that the steam shot was going to be really great because this mop is amazing. It really heats up. I know that it's doing a great job at cleaning the floors. I can see the evidence on the pad afterwards, and our floors just feel and look really clean after using it. And there are ways that you can use it to make sure that your floor is even sanitized, which is great because we have a dog and it's just nice to know that your floors are really clean. So this is something else that I can definitely recommend to you if you're in the market for a steam mop. So you can find that in my Amazon store as well, and the link for that is always down in the description box. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you could relate to my frustration and disappointment and buyer's remorse. If you liked it, be sure to give me a thumbs up. I hope that I still managed to give you a little bit of motivation for tackling some cleaning in your home this week. Don't leave without subscribing if you haven't already done so. We would love to have you join our Faith and Flour community. You know I love to hear from you, so leave a comment down below and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.